Yeah, welcome to this video. I tried something different and I just recognized that there is something like a 45-minute game. I just pressed on this and immediately got a game, so it wasn't really intended. I wanted to play 15, but then I noticed this 45 button. Alright, so let's see what happens. I'm on 1600 here because I never played this time control. And I'm playing somebody with 1640 rating from the UK. I'll check. He's playing mostly 15-minute, but 45 he's new to, as I am. So b6, yeah, okay, white can now stay within the queen pawns openings with c4 or let's say g3, something like that. Or I could play e4, and I think I'll take this chance. I mean, on some sort of meta level, e4 must be the best move, getting pawns in the center and preparing bishop d3 and short castle. Yeah, probably bishop b7 now. This e6 b6 opening isn't so bad really for black. It's just a bit passive, but it's not like white can refute it easily. I still wouldn't recommend to play this way. It's just a bit of suffering as you don't have many active options. Black can transpose with something like g6 into this hippopotamus setup, which is fairly solid. Knight e7. Yeah, this can mean various things. This can be the start of this mentioned hippopotamus with h6 and g6 and so on. Or it could maybe prepare f5 or d5. f5, of course, looks terribly weakening. Yeah, well, the question is, do I want to castle here, or do I want to delay this a bit so that on g6 I have h4? I could castle, it's not a bad move, but maybe it is more flexible to keep this option open. So if I don't castle, what kind of moves do I have? I could play knight c3, but this, while not being a bad move, forfeits the possibility of playing pawn to c3, which can be a good supporting move of the center. Okay, I'll go queen e2. This is I think also a good setup. It prepares long castling in case I want to go there. It covers e4. It prevents, well, it wasn't a threat, yeah, but he cannot play f5 now. Yeah, e2 is a pretty good square for the queen. Also, there's sometimes this bishop a6 idea for black. For example, if he plays d5, e5, and then if the queen wasn't on e2, he maybe can play bishop a6 to exchange my bishop. It's a regular feature of the French defense. This d5, e5, bishop a6. Yeah, what should black do now? That's not easy. He doesn't have much space. Well, okay, he can go d5, leading to a somewhat passive version of the French. The question is now, should I play just e5? Certainly a good move, but do I have something better? He's got this knight on e7, which really hinders his development a bit. But if I play e5, he maybe can play something like c5, knight e to c6, and knight to d7. So the knight e7 goes to c6 and the b8 knight to d7, so sort of tidying up his knight's position. So it's a possibility to maybe delay e5 or don't play this at all. I could go knight c3. Yeah, maybe this is an idea. If he takes on e4, knight e4 should be a pretty good position. Looks like a Rubinstein French with a weird piece placement by black. Well, knight c3, what will he play? Maybe c5. Looks a bit dangerous. Yeah, I can play d5 and bishop b5 check probably. Okay, come on, let's develop. Knight c3. I put it on c3, not on d2, to keep the bishop on c1 open. So the idea is to keep the tension in the center and maybe open it later. E takes d5 even is an option. And further moves could be bishop to f4. Maybe bishop g5, but bishop f4 is more natural. And then long castles. Simply using the better development due to better space. I mean, I have more space and I can easily develop my pieces, like bishop f4 and bishop g5, and black cannot do the same. He's a bit clobbered up here on the king side. Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, this very long time control means he can take his sweet time. So on c5, as mentioned, I probably go e takes d5 and then bishop b5 check and knight e5, something like this, trying to use these pins. Yeah, this is probably one of the better moves. So okay, knight e4 is a very natural move, but let's check briefly bishop takes e4. There's some concrete possibility. Bishop e4, queen e4, and knight d5. Yeah, this should be quite okay for black. It's not great, but not bad. Okay, knight e4 is the normal move anyway. Yeah, and this is the mentioned Rubinstein French with somewhat weird pieces by black. In the French, you would go knight b8 to d7 and knight g8 to f6. So this way, developing the king side much quicker. Here it's not easy to see how black should develop the king side. He probably needs to go yeah, this was also possible, but I thought that you probably won't block the c pawn. Okay, well, d4 is sort of hanging. I'm not sure that you can really take it. So, but what moves do I have? I mean, I can play c3 covering this pawn, the lazy move, or I could develop further with short castle or some bishop move. Bishop e3 is also possible. What I'm wondering is if I play if I ignore the threat on the d4 pawn and play something like short castle, if maybe knight b4 is an option for black. I mean, I don't want to give up the light squared bishop. This is clear. The best piece, as it is often in the king pawn openings. The bishop on f1 is the star piece. I mean, not staying on f1, but going to d3 or c4. Okay, what I'm getting at is I'll play c3 to cover the pawn, but also to make sure that I keep this bishop and don't need to move it again in case of castling and knight b4. It's not necessarily great for black, but c3 is a good move anyway, supporting the center. He cannot attack it quickly now with the c-pawn, and he still has this development issue. What he can do is he can play knight to d5 or knight to f5 and try to play, yeah, exactly, knight here, and now try to play bishop to e7 and then short castles. So this is interesting now. How do I proceed here? One feature of the position is that I'm obviously better developed and I'm quicker with castling. The idea I'm thinking about now is, what about c4 and d5? Whenever you see a line which has a quick mate in it, you need to check it. This is one of those lines. Let's say, just for argument's sake, c4, knight d2, b4, d5, e takes d5, knight f6, checkmate. Yeah, quite funny mate. But of course it's far from being a forced line. After c4, knight b4, d5, you can take on d3 with check. And this is the problem. Knight d3 check, queen d3, and then probably e takes d5. Then there's no checkmate and he's got knight to b4 coming. But c4, d5 is certainly an idea that I need to consider. Of course, I can also just castle or play a bishop move like bishop g5 or something. It's probably a good position anyway, because this knight on c6 is so misplaced. He can never attack my center with c5. This is the main issue, and therefore I could just play short castle with a good game. But it feels like there should be something better, really. Wait. I've got an idea. Very often this is the start of something stupid. Okay, but my idea is bishop b5. Let's just think about this. Bishop b5 with the idea of playing knight to e5. If he plays a6, I take on c6 with check, bishop c6 and knight e5. The idea being knight e5 and knight g5. This is the point of all this. Interesting. So bishop b5, a6, bishop c6, knight e5 attacks the bishop, and if it retreats to b7, normal move, then knight g5 just flat out wins. f7 is gone. Two knights attacking this pawn. Okay, bishop b5, a6 takes, knight e5, bishop b5, attacking the queen. Then I've got the c4 fork, and there's no big trick anyway, I think. Probably not. So bishop b5, if he plays a move like bishop e7, then knight e5 wins instantly. He could play after bishop b5, he could play something like yeah, knight e5 is a threat. Yeah, bishop b5 is a very concrete move. I mean, he's got this a4 e8 diagonal. This is weakened because of b6 and the knight on c6, so he cannot block this naturally with pawn to c6 or something. Bishop b5 is very direct move. It also might threaten queen c4. Besides knight e5, of course. It's also a way to increase the pressure on the c6 pawn, which can be quite handy. Okay, so if a6 is not playable, what about a6? Bishop takes, knight e5, knight e7. Yeah, still knight g5. There's nothing he can do really. f7 is going to fall. He can play f6, but then I can take e6. I mean, this is always on. Knight on e5, knight g5, f6, knight e6. So on bishop b5, does he have a move? I don't really see. I see one, a good one. If a6 is not working, then it's a problem. Okay, I go for this move. If it has some simple drawback, then it is very stupid. But it looks like a very direct approach. There's also this c4 d5 idea, threatening. So let's say you would play, you would go bishop to d6 just for argument's sake. Queen c4, then he can play knight d2 e7. But I could play c4 d5. In this case, he still cannot take on d5, and this means he would lose a piece. Bishop e7 it's just knight e5, game over. a6 I take and play knight e5 with tempo and knight g5 coming. Yeah, I don't see a move really. Maybe knight d2 e7 back. But this is of course very hard to do. You just played knight e2 d7 to prepare castling. And knight d7 really looks terrible. Well, nevertheless, what is my answer? Yeah, maybe knight e5. With the intention of playing something like queen h5 or queen f3. Or knight g5 again. Knight e5 looks very annoying already. He cannot play f6 due to queen h5 check. Knight d7, knight e5, f6, queen h5 check, g6, knight takes f6 checkmate. Yeah, nice. Yeah, there's some ways to lose this really quickly now. And I haven't seen a really satisfying move yet. Maybe I'm just not yet awake to see it, but I don't see a move to defend this. By the way, this is 45 minutes and 45 seconds per move, so this could be a really long game, unless the position explodes right now, which is certainly possible. I don't see a good defense yet. It's possible that there's some tactical way to justify all this. Sometimes you're amazed what's possible. Something yeah, I was just considering something with a6, this line a6 takes, knight e5, knight e7, knight e5, knight e7, knight g5, maybe queen d5. This looks very weird. Aha. Yeah, I was thinking that now c4 is winning, but okay, no, don't rush. Yeah, I can also first take on d6. Let's consider if this is maybe the more precise move. In fact, I just recognized that c4 he can go to he can go back to e7. c4 knight d2 e7, and then d5 isn't really. No, I can play d5. But he's got bishop b4 check. Aha. d5, e takes d5, c takes d5, bishop b4 check. Isn't this this is silly? All right, so let's consider knight takes d6. Knight takes d6. C takes is just c4 and d5. Yeah. Okay, and queen d6, c4, knight to e7, and then d5 he can really take. Yeah. Oh, unbelievable. Okay, so maybe c4 knight, c4 knight d7 c5, just c5 of course, and I'm trapping this bishop. Not d5 c5. Yeah, okay. So if c4 and he plays the bishop, the check to b4, I just move the king. Yeah. Knight d e7 to block the e-file. I've got a3 and trap the bishop again. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. Okay, so there's c4 after all. If he goes, let's say c4, knight to f4, I could take and then play d5. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Come on, c4. c4 is the right move. So I've got this d5 idea, and I've got the idea to play c5, trapping the bishop. So knight d to e7. There's c5. And knight f4, I could take. I can take, and then I can play
check.
Right. Yeah. After this, I just sidestep with the king. And what now? If he goes knight to f6, I have this d5 move and win a piece due to this deadly pin. On knight e7, I was intending to play a3, just attacking the bishop, and it doesn't have any square. Bishop d6, c5 wins the bishop, and bishop a5, b4 is also quite embarrassing, trapping the bishop on the edge of the board. Yeah, d5, yeah. d5, e takes d5. I've got knight f6 double check, winning a piece, or knight d6 also might be good. And d5, knight e4, I can just play queen e4 and win a piece with the pin. One thing I need to be cautious with, I'm just seeing that if I play d5, knight e4, queen e4, castles, and I would take on c6, then there's also this queen d1 idea. Annoying. Okay, but it's really not a big problem. I can just I mean, even this is not working, but I can alternate or change the move order here. I can take on f6 and then play d5. This is maybe easier. If I take f6, let's just think about this again. Knight f6, queen f6, d5. I want to be cautious because I have forfeited castling, and something like queen d1 or something coming up at some point can be embarrassing. I need to make sure that I'm really winning material here and not get into any problems for this. Knight f6, queen f6, d5. Yeah, it's just gone.
Check.
d5. From f6, the queen certainly cannot come to d1 at any point. After queen f6, I just recognize that I also have queen e4. Yeah, maybe this is even better. But okay, it's just a piece. Yeah, g takes f6, also just d5, collecting this knight on c6. Yeah, we see this pin idea with d5 is also related to this queen e2 move. It's simply this queen on the same line as the king, the e-file. It's annoying sometimes. Okay, and now d5, winning this knight. Yeah, there's after this, there's also not much left on the board with with all these exchanges on c6. Black has very little chance to stir up some trouble. Yeah, okay. Question is, if I take on c6 now with a pawn, yeah, let's take with the pawn. Bishop c6, there's queen e4. It's a possibility, at least. I'm not sure that it is good. Yeah, it's probably queen takes a queen e4, then bishop takes b5 might be on. Yeah, have a look at this queen e4, and bishop takes b5, queen takes a8, king e7, queen takes h8, queen d1, mate next move, and you manage to spoil all this. So fancy moves like like a queen e4 can easily backfire. But a move that's not so fancy and probably strong is bishop f4. Just attack the queen. And if he takes on f4, I take c6 and a8. There's no compensation. If he goes e5, I've got rook to d1, winning yet another tempo. Yeah, this looks simple and strong. e5, rook d1, and where does he go? On queen e6, I even got knight d4 coming. Self-fork, but attacking all kinds of stuff. E takes d4, there's queen e6, f e6, bishop c6, winning yet another exchange. So if he goes queen to c5, I'll play a3, winning the bishop. Yeah, there's no move really. Okay, so
check.
I'll grab this. Pre-move bishop a6, right? It's not entirely necessary in 45, but let's just take it. And now the only small issue is the king position. Need to get the rooks working, so I'll play g3, king g2, and then put rooks on the d file. Black's got 0 counterplay. Yeah, the 45-second increment really changes the speed of the game considerably. If I look at this, it's he's got 43 minutes left, but after 18 moves, he has gotten like 12-13 minutes of increment time. So this is quite a lot. Okay, yeah, put the queen on c6 so that king g2 puts me directly in some pin. Bit of an annoyance. Okay, kick this bishop first. Back to d6 probably. Yeah, okay, I'm walking into this pin, but I need to get the rook into play. Maybe just go rook h2 e1 and then king g1 back. It doesn't really hurt me, moving the king twice. I could also play h4, h5, rook h4, something like this, but alright, this is perfectly alright. Now king g1, knight d4, and possibly taking on e6. Looks quite annoying. Okay, unpin this knight. Yeah, knight d4 to f5 also, with further exchanges. With an extra rook, you don't mind to exchange a bit. Okay, Well, just knight d4, right? Is there nothing special happening? Yeah, where does he go? I mean, probably just back to d7. So, do I have a better move than knight f5? Knight f5 is just the keep it simple move. Yeah, come on.
Check.
Let's just indeed keep it simple. It's an extra rook. You only get 1 point per game. So now probably just double on the d file. Get on the d6 pawn. Yeah, I admit it's a bit pointless, really. It's an extra rook and he's got 0 play, absolutely nothing. Not even a vague chance to harass my king or drum up any kind of counterplay. I'll just play rook ed1 next and take d6, breaking through his king. Yeah, while waiting on the next move, we can do a quick recap of what was happening. I think this knight e7 move in connection with d5 is slightly questionable. It's a bit difficult for black to untie the pieces. Maybe you could play something like d6, g6, h6. This hippopotamus setup. Okay, he's played a move. King e8. And put some more pressure on d6. And yeah, in this position, he's a bit shaky in the center with the queen on e2 opposing the king. So there are those c4 and d5 ideas, and bishop b5 is a very concrete way to try to exploit this. If the game is over, I'll check this briefly with an engine. If black does have some defense left, I didn't really see one. Okay, let's grab d6 and hope this attack quickly wins now. Yeah, yeah, I can take on e6. I can play queen e5, but this is probably the quickest, right?
Check.
Yeah. Takes queen e6, king f8, rook d8 check.
Check.
Rook d8 check, king to g7, rook g8 check, king h7, and where's the mate? Queen f7 is at least one mate, yeah.
Check.
Maybe there's some quicker mate, but as mentioned, there's only 1 point per game. Rook g8 and queen f7 is enough, yeah. Okay.
Check.
Let's just do this.
Check.
And now rook h8 check, rook takes h5 mate.
Check. Checkmate.
Yeah. This is a record, winning 441 points. This is the first kind of, if you've got the first game, then you've got these quick rating jumps. I'd like to briefly check the bishop b5 move, if he's got some defense against this. It looks really uncomfortable. Yeah, the computer is on +2 already, so yeah, its main line is winning a piece. Okay. Yeah, then bishop b5 really was strong. Probably the strongest move in the position. I'm glad to have found that, because you sometimes play the kind of normal looking moves and have a good position, but you sometimes have those knockout moves that really win instantly, and this is one of those. It wins really. a6.
Check.
And there's the line I was mentioning, and black collapses. Good, yeah. Okay, this was good really. Bishop b5. Yeah, there's no way to defend this if he goes. Oh, I did it wrong. If he plays this, there's knight e5, and no defense. If he goes here, there's bishop c4, and the queen. This is the problem. Cannot save it now. It's gone. He really doesn't have a move. He played this bishop d6, and then there's c4. Oops, I keep hitting this wrong button. There's c4,
check.
The check. And here the computer gives knight e5. Yeah, I briefly thought about this, but I mean, a piece is a piece. This this is why I just then took and grabbed the piece. Of course, it looks quite dangerous here. Somehow I was thinking queen d4, but I can just take c6, of course. Yeah, this would have been maybe quicker, but okay, it's just a piece.
Check.
This here takes, and d5. I mean, it's just completely winning with an extra piece and the better position. Yeah, this was really a long game. I hit the wrong button here with the 45 minutes, but I hope you enjoyed this game anyway. The pretty quick punishment of somewhat sluggish development in the opening. Yeah, thanks for watching.